So yesterday, a New York appellate court denied Chris Cuomo's unsuccessful appeal of a state court's denial of his request to disqualify the arbitrator in his $125 million discrimination lawsuit against CNN. He had sued CNN for terminating him relating to him giving advice to his brother, Governor Cuomo, doing a sexual harassment scandal. And as a result, he has claimed a $125 million loss, wages, and harm to reputation. But the significant thing is that the appellate court's decision kind of lays an outline on how you could disqualify an arbitrator. So, brief background on the situation. The arbitrator in Chris Cuomo's case used to work at a large law firm called Paul Hastings. Paul Hastings had represented CNN about 2 decades ago. So Chris Cuomo's lawyer made an argument to the state courts removing this arbitrator because his law firm had represented CNN two decades ago, and so he could be biased. And so the appellate court denied this request, and the reason why is an outline of why you should do it. Thank you. And so the court said 2 things. One, they say that there's no there's no triable facts on the bias, meaning, so to disqualify an arbitrator, you should tell the court why that arbitrator's biased and then explain a factual issue. So that you could say, hey, this arbitrator did this and that. We deserve a chance to let a jury or a judge decide if that person is biased. Number 2, the court said that, hey, the representation with CNN doesn't create a bias because it happened 2 decades ago and someone else at the law firm. Normally, this would disqualify someone, possibly a lawyer, from representing a client if someone in his firm represented the opposing party for that client. But that's why you've got to have a clear delineation when big law firms represent an entity. You could disqualify all your lawyers at that firm from representing anyone else against that same client. So you got to be very careful and be picky on who you represent, because you could disqualify yourself from a bunch of other work. Same kind of logic applies to this arbitrator disqualification request, because it's showing that this person is possibly biased because the law firm represented CNN. So that's not good. So if you want to disqualify an arbitrator, find a more recent example and find something that that arbitrator specifically did or said that makes it triable, demonstrating he or she is biased. The last thing the appellate court said was, you didn't complain about the bias of this arbitrator early in the arbitration process. So that tells us, all right, complain early about bias, remove early. So if you feel like you're going to remove an arbitrator from your case, do it as early as possible. Don't wait, at least in New York. So there you go. So in New York, if you want to remove an arbitrator that you don't like in your case, file a petition to remove, disqualify early. Number 2, find examples of recent representation of the other side by the arbitrator or his or her law firm. And number 3 is you got to find example of something he or she said expressing bias against you or in favor of the other side. Okay, back to work.